You can buy a fake Emmy on Amazon, right? I'm thinking about doing it.
I would assume
Emmy?
so. I mean, as I always say, I got this Emmy, but I didn't earn it.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's the best part. I just got the motherfucker.
What'd you get it for?
I was an executive producer on a 30 for 30.
Right.
And so
it's 30 for 30.
Randy Moss?
The Randy Moss one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so everyone at the executive producer level of a 30 for 30 gets an Emmy. But my point is, if they don't call me one day and say, hey, you want to help us with this 30 for 30 that we've been working on for months now?
Right.
Something tells me they still get the shit, right? This wasn't, they didn't sign Kevin Durant here, right? Like, we need a little something to push us over the top. No, that's not what happened.
Are you proud of the Emmy? It's hard to really.
I just like showing it to people, and it's so funny because it's in like the bio on my website. Everybody like Emmy award winning journalist. Like, yeah, that's me. You're right, guys.
It's got to be first place and most recognizable, right? It's more like immediately hits harder than an Oscar, because the Oscar you got to be like, wait, is that an Oscar?
Right. It's that big globe. The difference, though, and what makes the Emmy interesting is that it is the most recognizable. But on the other hand, they give out like 20 different levels of Emmys. Like, it's a bunch of regular motherfuckers with Emmys in their shots. Like, this does not distinguish me. I don't feel like truly from my peers.
You know what? You're not lying. The Emmy's been, it's been dulled down a little bit.
Yeah, like mine is a sports Emmy. Which is, but there's local Emmys. There's all different kinds. When we were doing game theory, the question was whether to submit my stuff to the sports Emmys or the Emmys. And we went to the sports Emmys because the idea was that it would be easier to win there, which on one hand was probably true, but on the other hand, probably a lot more haters over there in that space. Right? Because if you look at but truly, if you think about it, not haters, that's not, okay, I don't mean that right now. But the people that are doing that are getting those. If you're not talking about like HBO documentaries, like best studio shows or stuff like that, those are ESPN shows, those are Fox shows.
Right.
They weren't going to do that for us. Right. Not for that show. Come on.
Izzy, are you saying that's the most recognizable trophy, the Emmy?
Of the entertainment trophies.
Of the entertainment.
I mean, the Grammy's
the Heisman
small
Trophy. Right. Yes.
No.
I think the Grammy is up there, but you could recognize the Emmy from farther away. I think that's the point that you're getting to. Yes. Is that you ain't got to be that close to the Emmy. But if I put a Grammy over there, you might like think that it was like a paperweight.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
Like I just got a statuette of a record player.
Yes.
Yep.
I am certain someone uses their Grammy as a paperweight. I'm certain of it. Someone has to over the course of time. I mean,
I talk about this. I went to Ezra Elliman's house once. This is many, many years ago. And Ezra worked at HBO for a long time.
I remember.
And I was going to the bathroom. I got lost on the way back to the living room. And I was just stumbling across Emmys that were just on the floor.
You tripped over an Emmy on your way to the bathroom?
Basically, yes. Bless. They're just around.
Right.
I thought it would have been invasive to look closer and see what they were for. But yeah, he literally has Emmys laying around the house.
Yeah.
Now, what would be hilarious, I've not been to that house since he got the Oscar.
Right.
Is actually, I have been there since the Oscar. I just didn't see where it was set up. But if he just had the Oscar laying around, I'd just be like, okay, Ezra's just a full-on savage.
Because once you win an Oscar, all the Emmys, it doesn't.
Yeah. Look, man, they don't give it. They what's the total number of Oscars they give out? It's something incredibly low. Like, they give out hundreds of Grammys. They give out zillions of Emmys on all these levels. The Oscars is a small number of those.
Yes. Yes. Izzy, it happened again last night, and I love it. I think it's the greatest story in sports. Jaylen Brown's hairline. I mean,
oh my God, Bo! As somebody who doesn't give a shit about hairlines, you've got to love this story.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what he's going for here, right? There's the infamous Carlos Boozer Beijing incident, right?
Right.
And we had him on a highly questionable, and I hate to say this in this way about something so trivial, but he was incredibly forthright about, what had happened. He made himself vulnerable, shall we say. And he said he went to the barber and they said they had a little something for him, but he didn't think it was going to look like that. And then he gets in the mirror and it does look like that. And then he realizes their next game is against the Celtics.
You gotta call
so
it
he
sick.
knows KG is coming for him. But Jaylen Brown is being discourteous because you can't just be leaving your hairline on other people's clothes.
Right? And he admitted to it. Like he's I got caught slipping. And then he just keeps doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to note because so when I was doing the show on HBO, the first time I went to the professional barber, because I have a barber credit, I got money for the barber. I didn't have a barber, obviously, because I'd been bald and I decided to come away from home a little bit. And they wasn't asking me if I wanted them to put some fiction in my hairline. It had been decided that if I was going to be on television and I was going to do this, then they were going to have to paint some hair on. Like that was a requirement. I felt like it was, once that was decided, I was just kind of like, all right, the professionals have spoken. This is what it's going to be. Jaylen Brown is making this decision himself. And the key to this, no matter what sort of hair piece you're working with, male, female, or whatever, is to not pretend, okay? If you got fake hair, don't try to act like it's fake hair, and people will, by and large, let you slide for it.
Yes.
He is not pretending that it is fake hair. I think that that's very important that he is not doing that. But you can't leave your fake hair on people's clothes. I think his problem is he don't have the right, and there are a few people, LeBron James is in this category, he does not have the right shape head to come all home.
Yes.
And therefore, like
it's like rectangular, it's like squared off or something. Yeah.
More specifically quadrilateral, right? Like it could be a trapezoid also. Like LeBron's is a bit trapezoidal.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there are different facial features that can make it difficult for you, or just features in general, to like go all the way and go bald. For example, you can have the right head shape to go bald, but if you're a little too chubby in the cheeks, you're gonna look like a Ninja Turtle. Now, it's a lot of people that rock the Ninja Turtle out, right? They just keep it going. I don't want to throw no names out there, but in your head, you'll know it when you see him. You'll be like, oh, we got a Ninja Turtle out here. But sometimes you just got to make the trade. It's just when it's got to be. Jaylen Brown has decided he cannot come home. Therefore, he has to do shenanigans in order to maintain, just like LeBron had to engage in shenanigans to keep it going based on the shape of his head. It's truly unfortunate.
He could always go back to the braids, could he not? Like, why did he come off of the braids? Then you don't have to worry about how straight your hairline is.
Oh, yeah, but I think he might be in retreat. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, if they in the pedal, if they play, it's one thing when you play in press man off the line, but now,
you're in the back pedal.
If you 7-8 yards off the line of scrimmage, you can't
easy little pitch and catch right there.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. They're just gonna throw the out on you all day long.
I've always been confused though, because I thought fake hair. This must be a TV thing, right? Because I thought fake hair is something you can put your fingers through, right? I thought it's something you can touch. But if it's something that just comes off in your hand, it's just for show.
Yeah, in the hairline part, it's like it's a spray, but it can give it a little texture.
Yeah.
Right. And see, Izzy's in an interesting space here because, like, if not for the gray, Izzy would look like he was 27 years old. Like,
no doubt. Yes.
You got the hair maintenance, you got like all of that going. You just went gray at 23.
Yeah.
And I think that's
tough. I get asked all the time if I dye my hair. And I'm like, no, I got ID'd yesterday buying a bottle of wine. And they're just like, oh, I thought your hair was dyed blonde. What's the secret? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Just give me my
Dyed your hair to make yourself look older?
No, people think this is a thing. People think you dye your hair like platinum blonde or something and it comes out kind of silver. No. But I'm with Jason Tatum. I've got top 5 hairline in media. If I actually,
Bomani, you say don't leave your hair on somebody's body or someone's uniform, but he plays a sport in which his head rubs up against other people.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is that you ain't got to do this, but I guess you do have to do it for games because people can see you. Like, I remember once I was getting ready to do Around the Horn, and this is me being a youngster, and Bill Plaschke saving my life. Where I forget it was like the women's soccer team, and I was going to say something that was going to come across very inconsiderate about y'all out here playing ball. Why y'all got makeup on? You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like y'all about y'all's business, right? And he was like, hey, let me holler at you, your blood. Like Bill Plaschke would never say it in those words, but it was basically the equivalent of, hey, I've asked about this a few times. There was a tone of, I almost made this mistake myself, right?
Right.
Wow,
and I say all that to
save.
say, and I say all that to say, when you are in these public spaces doing athletic things, they're still public spaces. Therefore, your presentation does in fact matter. Like, unless you're Rasheed Wallace, you got to act like people can see you.
Bo, I don't know if I just want to stay in the NBA here. I don't know if I'm like overprotective of the NBA, but
you are.
Okay, so then that's been declared. I'm overprotective of the NBA. Side note, this gambling scandal, I find ways to separate it from the actual NBA and from basketball, because I don't watch the games at all concerned about a gambling controversy. I don't watch the games thinking that the integrity of this game is in question because eighth man on the bench might be wanting to hit his unders. Like, I don't see that. I think of it as like, man, how did Chauncey Billups get caught up potentially in the mob? Like, how did he get rung up on this? And it's, I guess you could say, an isolated situation, unless you say, hey, let's figure out how this happened and keep it from happening in other situations. I don't know how you do that either. But like, I don't see it damaging NBA basketball. I just see it as a very interesting story.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's not damaging. I do think it can be catastrophic without necessarily being damaging. And the reason that I think it's catastrophic is, all right, it's one thing if the Terry Roziers of the world, and look, I know Terry Rozier made more money in his NBA career or has, if I'm not mistaken, than Chauncey Billups has, right? Mm-hmm. But
do you include the taxes he didn't pay?
Oh, yeah, there's that. Hey. I don't know if you were never a freelancer. Those of us, hashtag freelance gang.
Nah, I had my 1099 years. It was a pain.
Yeah, we don't have the room to judge in many cases. When it comes to this,
dodging taxes.
Oh man, everybody I know that's been a freelancer, we don't got that letter with the stick on the outside.
Taylor, cut that out, please.
We've been there, but anyway, I don't think anybody is terribly surprised that Terry Rozier wound up in a situation like this. Chauncey Billups, shocker.
Yes.
That's the big one. And so for me, it exposed the vulnerability that this sport in particular has. Like my producer, Ryan Brumley, makes the point. To fix baseball, it took 8 people. Right? Like you can't just get one person to do this. Rozier and Jonte Porter were not shaving points per se. Right. But they were shaving something. But I agree with you. I don't think that part's that big a deal. The idea that a head coach who's also a Hall of Famer could potentially be in the pocket of the mob. Hey, big problem. Right.
Yes.
And so that's the thing for me, is the vulnerability that this particular game has was exposed by this. I will also throw this out here, and I don't know how much this goes in the other sports, but basketball has a much more notorious gambling culture around it from the card games.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The card games on planes, the card games on all of this stuff. Like, that is, I do think, particular to the NBA. And again, leaves you somewhat vulnerable to something happening at some point. I do think, though, that like the outright fixes, like, are we at a place where you got to worry about a big star? Because it's hard for a big star to get away with this.
Well, this is where this takes me, right? And this is a couple, people on the internet have done this already. The conspiracy of, well, if the NBA is willing to hide or attempt to hide the Terry Rozier thing for the sake of the image of the league, what were they willing to do back then with Michael Jordan? That must have been a gambling controversy, because it makes no sense.
Or a star moving forward, right?
Yeah, because Michael fucking Jordan was going to be the guy out here shaving points. Yeah. Okay.
That's so Michael, right?
Yeah. That's going to happen.
A different type of gambling controversy, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, but it's only really a controversy if you're shaving points.
Yeah, right. To me back then, if you were involved in gambling at all, even if you didn't tie it to the game, it was like, holy shit, what is this person doing?
But I guess my question is...
Yeah, but if you dictate the outcome, that's the real problem. I think that's what Bomani is saying.
But we did have Michael Jordan gambling controversies at the time. We had Michael Jordan going to Atlantic City before games. We had Michael Jordan playing a dude named Slim Bowler for cash, playing golf in North Carolina. We did have these things. What I push back on is the idea that the NBA did something wrong with regards to Rozier. What were they supposed to do? hey, just want to let everybody in the world know that we don't have any proof yet that this guy engaged in gambling, but we're going to tell everybody. I think that what people don't understand is the Connie Hawkins and Roger Brown situations kind of dictated how they had to handle this in the late 60s, where they fought to keep Connie Hawkins out of the NBA for years and years and years. And Roger Brown basically effectively kept him out for his entire career. And they went to court and lost about this. Like the idea of, hey, we think they might be tied to gambling, so you're not going to play or you're not going to get paid or whatever it is. They can't do that. Like, so you can perhaps do it in a case where Malik Beasley, for example, everybody knows he's under investigation, thereby nobody's going to touch him. But Rozier had a working contract. I don't think they had any grounds to do anything other than what they did. It would have been, I think, until they had something stronger, not only it would have been wrong to do to Rozier, but they're just flat out stupid.
Yeah.
To tell the world. Like, I think that's where it's people are jumping on the NBA because it's the NBA.
Well, they could have told the Miami Heat, is all I'm saying.
Kinda, sorta, maybe not.
Yeah, but then it gets out everywhere, right? You leak it to one team, it's just going to eventually go everywhere.
Yes.
Well, so the issue was then going to be, you tell the Heat, now they don't play him.
Or they don't trade for him.
Right. Yeah.
In the first place, you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd also make this argument. It sounds like Terry Rozier knew Terry Rozier was under investigation. And look, maybe Terry Rozier is dumb enough to do it while they're like flat out looking at him. I don't know. I also think the Heat have a bit of a culture that is somewhat impervious to worst case scenario on this one. Can you imagine just trying to go tell Spo, my foot hurt?
No.
That's it. Your foot hurts.
You just created the funniest situation ever. Terry Rozier effectively had his own no trade clause. He got to get traded to the Kings. It's like, hey, Sacramento, you don't want this. I got this gambling thing. But the Heat, no, I'm definitely going there.
I got to get out in front of this, fellas.
By the way, Rozier made $160 million and Billups made $108 million.
How in the world has Terry Rozier made $160 million in the NBA?
For what?
You understand how crazy that is?
I know.
Insane.
Yep. I would say the mafia being that close to the NBA is a bad thing for the NBA. I mean, that's it. At the most basic level, Bomani.
I think we all concur on that part. And again, the way I put this is that if you gave NBA players 100 guesses that somebody was caught up in this, Chauncey Billups would not have made any ballot. Agreed. Which is completely different than Damon Jones, where if you gave them 3 guesses,
right,
he's turning up. Like survey says, Damon Jones, bing! Like it's coming up on the board.
So true.
The idea that somebody that is seen as upstanding can get caught in this, I think, is the part that I would find to be the most worrisome. Now, hey, look, maybe he didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Maybe he was a mark the same way everybody else was. But if he was a mark the same way everybody else was, that also tells me that he was out here getting his pockets run. Right. Which, again, not a great sign.
Yeah. I want to talk about hockey real quick because I believe we have our Stugotz of the year. Izzy is not familiar with the story. For those in the audience not familiar, Alexander Ovechkin scored his 900th goal. It's so great. It's so good.
I've only seen the one sentence, so I can't wait to hear the details.
So he scored his 900th goal. He's the first player in NHL history to reach that mark. 900 goals. He did it last night against the St. Louis Blues. Jordan Binnington was the goalie for the St. Louis Blues. Ovechkin scores the 900th goal. He's celebrating with his team. Jordan takes the puck and shoves it down his pants. Was he doing that to make sure Ovechkin got the puck back because it's such a big goal for him? Or was he going to sell it? Was he going to sell it on the secondary market because he knew how valuable that puck was? What do you think, Bo?
Okay, let's look at this from
everybody clear out.
Let's look at this from 2 angles, right? Let's say that his plan was to simply put it away so that he could give it to Ovechkin. Now, never mind the fact that there was the option to just hand it to him. But you've decided you're going to stick it in your pants. So just so I'm clear.
He went front of pants, right?
I don't feel like that makes it better. I'm just saying it's my 900th goal and you're sticking my puck in your draws. That's not what I want. So let's just throw it out there on the best case scenario.
Okay.
on the worst case scenario, especially in a world that has the mores and adjudication of disputes that sport has, we got to go.
Yeah, you got to.
We
dropping gloves.
You just stole from me. Like, I guess it's technically not my property, but you knew that you were stealing. Like, if I found out that you did, just think of anything as somebody like in your house. And again, I know it's not exactly the same, but somebody is sticking something in their pants in your house. We're fighting right now.
Bo,
There's
no,
when you hit the ground, we're stepping on you. Like, it's me and the boys, and we coming to take care of this. That's right. If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys. We're going to fuck you up.
I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think he's getting to goal 1,000, right?
No.
So this 900th goal is going to be up in his house forever. His most shining accomplishment.
Yeah.
And every time he looks at it, he's going to think of Binnington's balls. Because that's where that puck was. And that's that with one move, Binnington has lived forever in Alex Ovechkin's world.
That's what Bo is saying. Best case scenario is he has a 900th goal puck that was rubbed all over a goalie's balls.
Yeah, but he might never have played goal ever again under those circumstances. I'm thinking how furious I would be under those circumstances.
Bo, what'd you make of the first college football playoff release? Izzy thinks it should be one release at the end of the year. I don't mind the weekly release. They do it so we talk about it, and so we're going to talk about it right now. What'd you make of it?
That's it. The whole concept of the release shows. And by the way, they used to start earlier in the year. Like, I don't know if you noticed that they now push this back, but that's just stepping on the dope, man. Like, none of these intermediate playoff shows matter at all. Literally the only one that matters is the last one. It would be different if you got if there was something like residual point system that you got for being highly ranked at a certain point, and it kind of discounts out and you get some redemption for it later. Otherwise, doesn't matter. Not even the littlest bit. But ESPN is like, shoot, we can do a TV show here off of that. Then we can put it in every block on every television show. Just step it on that dope, making it stretch. It is an amazing trick that they pull off. And we've lived long enough to ever see Indiana be number 2 in one of these things.
Can you believe it?
I can't. And here's what's crazy about it. It's well earned.
Yes.
Like last year, they were a plucky story, and you saw what happened when they got in the playoff. What was it? Notre Dame beat the brakes off of them, right? I have watched them play a couple of times this year, and they look like an actual factual football team. Like, not just how'd you guys win 10 games. Like, they went to Oregon and won. They didn't sneak it. They won it. They're out here. They're beating a lot of bums this year, but they're beating them like they're bums. Like, it is, I can't. This is the most amazing coaching job I feel like I have ever seen, because he did it with a bunch of his guys from James Madison. Like, how did this guy not get a real shot until his 60s?
I've been on Fernando Mendoza as a number 1 pick for a minute now. So he definitely upgraded at that position, but apparently that's all he needed to do because...
Wait, but who the hell ever thought that Fernando Mendoza was that guy? I saw somebody, I think it was Ben DiNucci, one of those like career backup guys, and he was just like, he played for Cignetti, I guess, at James Madison. And he's just like, yeah, everything that I've gotten in my life and everything I know about offense is because of that guy. Like, he seems to be that quarterback guy that everybody talks about, on top of just being like, my type of jerk, right? Very, very self-assured. And I guess he's figured out nobody's going to talk about Kurt Cignetti of the Indiana Hoosiers unless Kurt Cignetti does. But he does. And everything he says seems to check out.
Yeah.
Bo, I'm curious. I just want to check in with you on Dabo and his sort of crash out this year, because it's been a lot of fun, but I don't think anybody has quite as much fun with Dabo as you do.
Man, I got to be honest with you, man. As time has gone on, I've kind of warmed to the little fella.
Wow.
Really? What the little fella?
I truly appreciate the fact that he means what he says.
Huh.
Even the things that I wholeheartedly disagree with, and the fact that he's kind of sort of running a cult disguised as a football program. Mm-hmm. All of those things being the case. Number 1, winning 2 national championships at Clemson is sorcery. Like, we don't give him nearly enough credit for the heights that he brought that program to. And apparently he feels like Clemson doesn't give him nearly enough credit for the heights that he brought that program to. The problem is they want to stay at those heights. Now, Dabo's made a lot of what I would generally term mistakes. Most notably, it's a very insular culture that he's built there, and it's the guys it's all his guys on staff, and he needs to shake it up, and the all his guys part hasn't worked. It's worth noting that the big winning they did was with 2 generational quarterback prospects, or at a time where they had 3 first-round picks play a defensive line. Like, things are not what they were, but it is at a point now with him where it's like, okay, so now it's Clemson again. Like, this is what you guys have historically been. I imagine that his complaint would probably be, we need to get the money up in order to provide and get the players that we used to be able to get. I'm not sure, but I will tell you, it was a bad look what happened on the sideline on this last game. But he is, in the press conferences where he's just like, hey, man, if you get rid of me, I'll go somewhere else. Yeah. Like, he sounds like they're telling him that what you're doing ain't good enough. And he understandably believes that he's earned the right to be there forever. But even the guys who earn it don't get to keep it. They fired Bobby Bowden. I mean, Joe Paterno's a terrible example in a lot of ways, but they still fired him. They fired Woody Hayes. We can go up and down the line, man.
Is Dabo more likely to find another job, and maybe he should have gone to Alabama and he missed his window? Find another job and succeed?
No,
or is he more likely to Bill Belichick?
I don't know what the Dabo thing is, because I don't know how long it takes to build up a program in his image. Like, I don't feel like a change of scenery is going to fix what hasn't worked. Or, I mean, because one thing about it, he ain't no tactician, right? Like a big part of this is our players are better than your players. So if he can't go to a place like that, he would not be bad at calling LSU, for example, except at LSU, they're going to tell you, hey, man, we know you got a way that you want to do things, right? Like, you don't want to get transfers. You want to do it with your own players, which, again, I respect to no end. I want to do it my way. But if they want 11 wins, you got to go get the 11 wins.
Right.
I think that's the part that is kind of when Gary Williamson was at Maryland. And Gary Williamson famously did not cheat in recruiting. May have been the only man who did not, but he famously did not cheat. And they're like, fine, don't cheat, but you better win while you're not cheating.
Right. In the meantime, and I know we have to get you out of here, is anyone having more fun in college football right now than Lane Kiffin? I mean,
him having fun means I'm not. I mean, I know Izzy certainly sees him as the spiritual successor to Steve Spurrier, who is my kind of jerk, where Lane Kiffin is not my kind of jerk.
I got to swallow my pride for him. I don't love him, but if he's going to be mine, then,
Man, I can't. If Lane's smart, you stay at Ole Miss forever.
Really?
Yeah. There'll never be any pressure on him, truly.
Right.
At Ole Miss.
You're right.
Mean, they got a lot of built-in factors as to why it is that they typically can only be but so good.
Yes.
And he's done a good job of overcoming those, but they're not. I can't stand the idea of him. I don't want to say I don't like him because I don't know him personally, but there's a reason he got fired on the tarmac. Like, think about this for a second. Lane Kiffin is like winning big in the SEC right now. And this is he's like just around 50. This is the 4th best job he's ever had. The 4th. He has had 2 amazing jobs. Like, the Tennessee job he had was a much better job than Tennessee as it exists right now. But he had the Tennessee job. He had the USC job.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Yes. At a time where USC meant everything. Yes.
Yeah, he got fired on the tarmac at USC. And I remember I watched that game and I was like, hey, I don't know if he's going to have a job tomorrow. And they fired him before I could wake up.
Then he rehabbed with FAU and Boca. That's what he did. Yeah.
They sure did. He took a year or 2 down there. Like, I think we have forgotten that's how bad his reputation was.
Yes. Right.
Mike Locksley, think about this for a second. Mike Locksley, who was at New Mexico however many years ago, about 15 years ago, and was terrible and had a sexual harassment allegation against him. And I think he had like a 1-win season or whatever. After being Saban's offensive coordinator, he got the Maryland job. Lane Kiffin couldn't do any better than Florida Atlantic. And before he could officially start the job when he wanted, Saban fired him. Remember that?
Yes.
Saban was like, yo, you're not really working on the game that we've got, the national championship game.
Right.
How about you leave and we replace you with this guy Sarkisian, who is washing his reputation after an embarrassing drunken outburst a couple of years ago. That's how bad it was for Lane.
I think I love Lane now. I definitely want him to be the Gators guy.
I love Bomani.
Ooh, the idea of Lane. I don't know Lane personally.
Right.
Do you follow Lane on Instagram, by the way?
No, but I will.
No.
Lane on Instagram apparently is very, very interesting. He's like an IG mom, my buddy Spencer describes him as. You can get a pretty good handle on his dating life from his Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, he is a wreck. It's a outright wreck. And I never saw a good interview with Bomani Kiffin explaining what he thought about the fact that that's his son.
Yeah. That wreck is the most wanted coach in college football. Anyway, we know we have to let you go. We appreciate the time, as always.
How is that?
Look at the look of disgust on your face.
I mean, like everybody's looking around like, yeah. Here's my last thing on Lane Kiffin.
Okay, you got more, yes.
I don't know if you remember this, but when Al Davis fired him for cause, because that is what Al Davis does. He fires people for cause. Well, fired people for cause.
Yes.
He sat and had a press conference with an overhead projector with his litany of grievances with Lane Kiffin and a warning to the people at Tennessee that he would cause them great shame and embarrassment in his tenure there. And
forget that.
Everybody said Al was a crazy person and everything else. You fast forward a little over a year, he was absolutely correct. He did leave them in shame and embarrassment. It was it went exactly the way that he said it would.
But since then,
he left USC in shame and embarrassment.
Okay, but since
Saban got him out of there before he could leave them with shame and embarrassment.
Yes.
What I don't miss.
Yeah.
You can't embarrass Ole Miss.
Right.
They call themselves the Rebels.
Wow.
Get out of here, Bomani. The Right Time with Bomani Jones, wherever you get your podcast. Have a great weekend, my friend. Thank you for the time.
See you, Bo.
Yeah, you just messed up my morning, but I'll do my best.
Go Gators.
But the Binghamton story, man, you better watch that Emmy. You invite me over to your place, man. I'm going to shove that thing down my pants.
Yeah, I gotta talk to him. I'm recording with Dominique today. Thank you for reminding me. I have to talk to him about that one. That's amazing.
It's great.
Amazing. All right, guys.
Stugotz here. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. Listen, support the people that support this show, and no one has supported us more than our friends at FanDuel. So even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because FanDuel has given new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Must be 21 and older and present in select states or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.